How's it going, everyone? WallysOG here, and today
P2,
I'm bringing you
10
the second
flaps.
video from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Is it
Okay,
called
Wallace,
Charlotte Motor
get ready.
Speedway? I don't know. That just sounds like
Green,
it should
green,
be that
green.
way. By the way, we had a great start. Actually, fantastic start. Because for a brief second we're in the lead, but pole position obviously had the inside line. Now, homie in front of me, he qualified 2 seconds faster than I did. That's not like a brag or anything, because I'm in the lead now. He made a mistake, but it's also like cold tires, and I'm also not great on cold tires or cold brakes.
Good start.
What I was trying to say is my driving style as of late, especially like in my rookie-ness, is if there's someone faster, I'm probably gonna let them go by, like depending on at what point in the race, and I'm gonna follow, because I'm gonna get better by following. It's like, it's part of practice, and I don't know. I feel like I'm a little better practicing this way, behind someone that like obviously shows that they're faster. Because I mean, this guy went all the way down to 4th.
It looks like
who's behind me right now. And
left side.
I'm just
clear left.
I'm gonna let him go. I would rather know why he's 2 seconds faster than me than try and like defend like all hell to back up the rest of the pack like behind us, up into us basically. I have no idea what happened to like third or anyone else, but we basically have 10th place coming back up, like, you know, catching up, which is kind of insane. Some of these higher split lobbies, I'm starting to get there now. Some my earlier videos were like 600 to 700 rated. These are now 11 to 1200 rated. Sometimes more depending on like the time of night, but yeah, it's not always necessarily a bad thing either to be in this position. Like obviously he's you know, driving off into the distance, and I'm gonna keep making dumb mistakes like that, like just driving straight into the wall for some reason, because that's like an actual dummy moment occurred. I don't know. I lost all focus. I lose any and all hope to sticking with first place, and I'm basically just now like here, which trying to catch up to him, which definitely won't happen. At least, you know, like it probably won't happen unless he makes a mistake, but it's just it's probably not going to be a thing. I don't know. But yeah. Like I was saying, not necessarily a super
just done a
negative thing.
135.40. Sector 1 is 0.45 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.8 off the pace. You're a 10th off the pace in Sector 3.
See, another one of those kinds of things, and I know I was paying attention to this in the race itself, but I do definitely want to call it out. I know what I was talking about before, and I'll get back to that, but I want to call that out. Jim, who is the crew chief default voice, is letting me know, you know, which sectors I'm slowest in, which is actually super helpful. Because the first sector I was like, I think it was like 0.1 or something like that. The final sector I was like 0.3 or 0.4. The middle sector there was almost a second off, which is the infield. So, you know, letting me know I need to really, really, really hammer it down in the midfield, because that was just, you know, sector 2 just needs to be taken care of. Which also kind of comes into the whole, like, it's kind of a trainer at the same time, and it provides really good information when you actually want it to. Highly recommend going through it, and maybe I'll do like a slight little, here's what I learned over my, you know, first month of iRacing kind of thing. There it is. Maybe I'll have to add another video this week for that.
Has binned it in
I don't know.
First chicane.
We'll see. Maybe a bonus video. Either way. sometimes it's in the position at least that I'm in.
The car behind is reeling you in. The gap is now
It's
2.1.
good
He's quicker than you into
to kind of
turn
follow the faster people. At least it's only been beneficial for me, right? It makes more sense because at first, like, the iRating and everything is like super unforgiving. At least like on like a very man, how do I put it this way? It's really unforgiving, like, in the beginning. If you don't really understand it, I didn't understand it until I really looked into it and everything. It's just, I kind of assumed that it was like a general kind of thing, which in a way it is. But when you compare it with something like GT Sport, which is what I'm used to, it's the same in theory, but it doesn't show you anywhere near the amount of information that you can get in GT Sport than you do in iRacing. Like, iRacing, everything is on board. You can just see it. It's there. But for GT Sport, you have to go to like a third-party website basically to find your exact rating down to the number, which kind of sucks, but maybe that'll change in GT7. I don't know. I probably won't even have a PS5 at that point. And I kind of don't really want one as badly anymore now that I'm having so much fun with iRacing and all the other PC games. But
the leader's just done
while I've been blathering on about the benefits of following faster people, first place is long gone by now.
That's your quickest lap
And
in this session.
if you've
The guy behind
been paying
has just
attention,
done a 134.56.
a yellow blob has popped up in the rearview mirror, which means third place has now creeped up behind us because of all of the infield mistakes that I have been
Okay,
making.
Wallace, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
Jim is reminding us that
Right side's clear.
we're not super great under pressure, and I took that
Come on,
basically
don't let him
in
get
mind
away.
and said, you know what? It's okay. Third place is still third place. Which leads back to what I was just talking about. It's okay to follow the faster people. It's okay to get a quote-unquote poor result, which, some people would say first place is, or, like second place is a poor result. And it's like, no. Obviously that's kind of an extreme end because that's best of the rest, but in a, in a race, first is the only thing that realistically matters sometimes. I only say sometimes just because it depends on what kind of race it is. Championship involved, one and dones. You never know.
Second
Obviously.
chicane. It looks like
So many different things that could happen here, but this is like a learning experience in a series for me. These racers were obviously
turn 2.
faster. They were obviously better, and you don't really get a chance to
The gap ahead is now
try and
0.8.
catch someone who's better than you. Like, it's not
Okay, Wallace,
not something
that's
that
half
everyone
distance.
gets
You're
the
looking good
opportunity
for
to have. And I can kind of understand that the argument can be made that, every time you go into a race that something like that can happen, or you can just go into, public lobbies of like streamers or something like that, but it's not everyone, has that ability, or not everyone has like the know-how. It's not one of those things. So, for me, to get used to the platform and to get used to everything, I'm using this kind of way. And I think it's also entertaining, because it's really nice to see how other people drive. You get to analyze what they do. Which sometimes is more fun than analyzing what you're doing yourself, which is pretty entertaining. But I think here might be a moment, though, where some things happen. Second place here just taps just a little bit at the exit of the curb, and he loses second place.
Come on, that's the stuff.
Jim hyping us up there, but unfortunately for Jim, it might not last that long. We do have we have 4 laps to go coming up here just in a moment. And I think this is my first 135. Yeah, there it is.
P2.
135.0.
135.09. That's your best lap in the session.
Finally gotten into the 135s, and compared to the lap before that, at least it was like over a second. Oh no. The dog is not having a good time. That is the boy Thunder. He has appeared on the video. I do most of these, by the way, I try to do them all in one take, not necessarily out of any particular reason other than just I feel it's more natural to do it that way. I do kind of have a script that I go off of, but that doesn't really help all that too much. But it does kind of help out to cut in between all of these kind of bigger gaps, because now we still have 4 laps to go. Well, technically 3 coming up here. We're coming up to the final chicane after this turn. If you noticed, though, we did have a 2-second gap on Pablo, who was in second place that we let by a couple laps ago, and he is already back within a second. Kind of scary. It's actually insane. Gap drops down now to the 0.6, thanks to my poor entry into Sector 1, which Jim did remind me earlier on that he was beating me into. I think he tagged the wall a little bit as well, but look at how much distance he closes in the rearview mirror. Look at how close he can get up to me in the infield. Like, he can just cut down basically in half every single time. And at this point, I'm like, alright, if I don't start defending, I'm gonna get backed up by this lapped guy. I need to get by this guy, but I can't let Pablo ahead. I have just another kind of dummy moment, and I misjudge the lapped guy. I run into him. It's unfortunate, but
oh no, Wallace. Come on,
we
mate,
lose
defend your
P2. But at this point, I'm like, all right, let's get him on the next one. We have 3 laps to go. He did make a mistake before. He's not impervious. We got some good clean air. We basically have 3 solid laps of just go for it. Into the final chicane, he's definitely faster than me.
P3,
And in a
2
T1,
laps left. We're on for a podium here.
he's actually a bit faster. He hits the blue sausage, so he does go up on 2 wheels a bit, so he did have to let off. So he kind of slowed down just a bit, but he's so much better at this infield than I am. It's just it's like actually difficult. I don't know. I don't really know how to get in there. But we press on. Again, at this point, first place is just absolutely long gone, and I'm kind of hoping that this other lapped car maybe comes into play, but Pablo goes super deep getting back onto the oval, and look at this. We're back up right onto his tail with 1 lap to go.
On your right. Still there.
I mean,
Clear right.
I am stamped on the brakes.
Nice pass.
Jim hypes me up and says, nice pass. I look up, I see no off track. I don't know in what world that was an okay pass. And honestly, I feel bad. I really do, actually, because he's by far the better driver. But it was an extremely late move that somehow paid off, that didn't even count as an off track. I don't know how that happens, but there's 1 lap to go. Let's see how
Wallace,
it pans
1 more
out.
to go. Keep it together. We'll be on the podium. P2.
We start driving a bit more conservative like. making sure that I'm trying to hit every single apex that I can, just so I can park it, just so he can't go up the inside. Even then I don't go all the way out wide here just to swing in. You can see he's looking for it, he still can't get there though. Just gonna park it on the apex. I mean, it's final lap, I gotta defend. And there's so many places for him to actually like draft, it's just we can't do it. He does get a much better exit out of that turn though than I do. And I didn't go for the extremely defensive line here, but I was looking in my mirrors too much and I outbrake myself, make a massive mistake,
The gap behind's increased to
get a
0.9.
obviously, you know, a slowdown
You'll need to
penalty,
slow down
which
if you
was
don't want a penalty.
completely warranted.
On your left,
And
clear left.
that means we lose second place.
Come on, keep pushing.
But I will take it. I was actually super proud of myself with this one. Happy with the performance that that came out of me. Because these two, the people ahead of me were clearly better. And I got to hang with them for quite a bit longer.
44 Celsius.
So, it all worked out in the end.
Turn 1, podium finish. Nice one.
Still take the podium, and we took the points. We'll see you all in the next one. Hope you had a good one.